Hey there. Today we have two more stories from Relationship Advice. The first one deals with a sexual assault. The victim was a man and an innocent baby came out of it. The whole situation leads to family drama. In the second one, the author provides lots of evidence of what his lady is doing, but still wonders if she's cheating or not. That's up to the reader to decide. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This story is titled, Mom Keeps Seeing the Baby That Was the Result of My Sexual Assault. Never wanted to talk about this, but honestly it feels like no one else in my life understands what the hell I'm going through. I, 25 male, was assaulted over a year and a half ago. Not going to go into the full details. I was beyond drunk, knew for a fact she wasn't because she never drinks. I said I didn't want this, didn't stop a goddamn thing. Days after it happened, I told my friend who was there that night before he took off, and he said it was probably just a drunk hookup and was no big deal. At that point I tried to let it go and forget about it. Especially when it would have so easily been written off as a drunk one-night stand if I tried to report it. I cut her out of my life, but then came to find out a few months later that she was pregnant. And yup, baby was mine. I wanted no part of that, and I told her so. She knew what she did too. She tried to apologize for what she did that night, like if that was somehow going to make it better. But apparently wanted to keep the baby because it was innocent in all this and she couldn't think about going through with an abortion. She left me out of the birth certificate though and said she wouldn't drag me into financially supporting the kid if I didn't want to because she knows she probably ruined enough for me. Understatement of the century. Everyone in my family was convinced I just knocked her up and didn't want to take responsibility. My mom was the only one who believed me when I told her everything that happened. That made me feel relief that at least she was on my side. Except recently I found out she's been seeing the baby behind my back for months. Last time I was at her house her phone started ringing and I see assaulter's name on the screen with a pic of a baby girl. My stomach started twisting and asked her what the hell she was doing. My mom was freaked out about it, but she ended up admitting she's been communicating with sexual assaulter for a while because she just wants to spend time with her granddaughter. So, she's been inviting my sexual assaulter over to her house almost every week so she can play with the baby that was a result of my freaking sexual assault. That was too much for me. I couldn't even stand being in my mom's house knowing she was there too, so I got up and left. My mom was begging me to come back, but I just had to get out of there. She was blowing up my phone telling me she's sorry and she didn't expect me to find out about it. I called her up and we had another talk. My mom was really apologetic, and she knows what happened to me was traumatic and I have every right to feel the way I do. But I guess she couldn't help that she wants to be in her granddaughter's life even if it means tolerating her. I told my mom to just leave me alone and not call me for a while. So far, she hasn't, so at least I'm not being bothered. But I just can't wrap my head around this. I know she's got a right to do whatever she wants, but it's hard not to feel betrayed in some way if that makes any sense. Look, nothing against the baby. She's innocent and I know that, I really do. That doesn't mean I can stand thinking about her and not feeling sick knowing how it all happened. I've tried hard not to think about her all this time. I don't know if I can keep seeing my mom after this. She doesn't want this affecting our relationship, but it's all I can think about now and I don't think I can get past it. Knowing she's spending time with them. It's freaking up my mind. Comment 1. I am so very sorry. This is sickening. I think that you need to distance yourself from your mom for the moment. Have you considered getting therapy? I'm so sorry about the stigma behind male sexual assault. Comment 2. This is disgusting. I've been on the opposite side of your situation. I was assaulted a few years ago, and had a child from it. My partner and I love our daughter to the ends of the earth, but it's hard knowing she exists because of some scumbag who never heard the word no. We figured we could get past it, cut my sexual assaulter out of the picture, and be a family, and then I found out my mother, who was helping with childcare, was taking my daughter to see her biological father and his family. She brought my kid to my sexual assaulter's house. The solution was simple, cut her out. It's going to be hard, and if you're anywhere near as close to your mum as I was to mine, it's going to be painful, but it has to be done. You don't deserve this. You shouldn't have to deal with your mum playing nice with your sexual assaulter on top of the actual assault itself. Cut your mum out entirely, or she's going to keep dragging you back into this. One of them, mum or sexual assaulter, could even pull some legal BS to force you onto the certificate due to your mother's relationship with the baby. Cut ties with anyone who's associating with your assailant, or you'll never be free. Comment 3. You can't stop your mother seeing the baby, but you can choose not to see your mother. There's no point in an ultimatum making her choose. She already knows this distresses you and still chooses to do it. She already chose the baby and the sexual assaulter over her own child. She chose to ignore your distress. She chose not to give support to you. I would suggest she be dead to you. Comment 4. She has the right to do what she wants. That doesn't mean there's no consequences to her actions. Again, let me reiterate how appalling this is. Your mom invites your sexual assaulter over every week. Is the child innocent? Yes, but the mom is not. Your mom has no right. Take the time and space away from your mother. Please see a therapist or seek out a trauma group for males if that is helpful. If you ever decide to forgive her, please let it be on your terms. Do not be forced into reconciling or having a relationship with your mom again. Comment 5. If this was a woman's sexual assault and she was forced to have her sexual assaulter somewhere in her life, then all hell would break loose. I'm sorry you're going through this. My son was sexually assaulted and the gaslighting is unreal. Personally, I'd have a hard time trusting someone who is only sorry that I found out but doesn't think she did anything wrong. She did. She lied. She is supporting your sexual assaulter and acknowledging a child that you did not want any connection to. I think you're justified. The mother and the sexual assaulter have no business fostering a relationship with her victim's family. I wish the police had been involved because you would have some legitimacy, and it is freaking awful that you'd need it, by the way, in declaring this evil by a wretched human. Maybe it would make it more real to your mother. I don't know, but you should find a support group or therapist and get some insight on how to deal with this because it might not go away. You should get just as much support because you suffered just as much. What happens when you drop by you mothers and the kid is there? How long until someone, like the people in this comment section, think you aren't a real victim and need to step up to be a father? I'm sorry that you have to go through this. It's terrible and made even worse by people who minimize a man's experience. This child isn't your mistake or your responsibility, it isn't your anything. Having the person you should trust most not see this must be awful. Your mom should always have your back. I guess at least you know now. Go get some help though. You deserve to have someone truly understand what you're going through. This story is titled, I am pretty sure my girlfriend, 40 female, had a run-in with her coworker's, 40 male, fiancé. Back in October, we had a week apart after I binge drank at home alone and texted her while she was at work, where she has to be professional. I had some stupid emotions that usually come out when drinking, horny, not getting it enough, lonely. After those texts she needed a break obviously, and I too needed to quit drinking. Which I did, as I don't want to be doing that to her. Stupid. A week later she texted me back saying she missed me, and I told her it was because of my drinking and I decided to quit. We meet up and everything is greater than ever, awesome sex. She's happy that it wasn't her fault that she's not good enough. She made a weird comment, who needs a small wanker when you can have this big one? I didn't get it and let her play. She needed her breaks done. I was going to do it before all this happened, and during that week apart, she ended up getting it done with her coworker's fiancé. He has a shop at home. I guess she offered his help, I'm not sure. A week later I'm helping with her phone and he messages while it's in my hand. Something along the lines of how's it going over there? She immediately swiped the notification away while I was still holding the phone. Then she says they were talking about relationship stuff while getting her brakes changed. Doesn't make sense that they would talk about that because his fiancé was also there during the break job. Yet she had told me how he's lonely too and not getting sex at all. Maybe once a month. Anyway. I'm on her computer one day looking at my stock trading platform. Her Chrome web browser opens up with her Facebook as the default page, and I see more messages incoming from this guy. Are you alone? How's it going? So, I read deeper into the convo history. It seems he's always asking if I'm around. One time he asks what she's doing and where am I was at work. Then he says Sir is his fiancé. But my girlfriend just said that I'm coming over tomorrow. She didn't bite. For a while it seems he is always asking and looking for an opportunity when they could meet. Christmas Eve they were messaging and Christmas morning, I could tell and see the bubble on her phone. I looked on her computer first chance I got and the whole convo was deleted. I decided to look up her Google location history and she was at his house 2 times. Once for the break job, and then again, the next day back in October for about 4 hours in the evening. So now I've just been following the convo whenever I get a chance, and location history. She has not been back there. But more red flags in the convo. He sent a pic of his little wanker under the blanket. Said he needed to do laundry. Her response was, "Is that your laundry?" She never seems to bite on his invitation. Few weeks back she sent a sexy after workout selfie and kissing emoji, something I thought was exclusive to me. And now finally this week she sent him her work schedule for the week. One last note, they have mentioned how talking in person would be better. And she has said when the timing is right. She's working days this week, so does he. I'm working nights. Is it the perfect storm? Comment 1. I'm not sure what more info you need. Will it take you catching them in the act for you to get it? If so, maybe you should figure out how to do that, because everyone else reading this already knows what's going on. Comment 2. It sounds like you're only holding your hopes on seeing what little they're texting and he's checking her whereabouts, and if you were there but you don't know if they're not talking on the phone all the time. It definitely seems suspicious, especially since she went over there for 4 hours the night after the whole thing with the car. Comment 3. It sounds like you had to get sober first to see clearly. And now that you can, you are finally seeing things for what they truly are. And maybe drinking was your way of not coping with what you already knew. It's a crappy situation. Do the best thing for you. Comment 4. This does not look good. She might have been with him during your break and they just can't seem to stop the ball rolling downhill. She needs to be snapped out of this, or you need to leave, or both. Comment 5. It's entirely possible she's deleting the replies to his advances. Either way, you have more than enough evidence that she's cheating on you. If not physically, emotionally at least, which to many is worse. Just because you've had issues with drinking in the past doesn't excuse her cheating. I'd be done. Thank you so very much for listening. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe.